Hello, my little acorn crop. Look, I can pet the sunlight again. See? Good sunlight. Oh. So today we're going to be talking about the Well of the Seven Heads. So I stumbled upon this little gem while doing some research for my Cult of the Severed Head presentation, which I think was pretty interesting, so I wanted to share it with everyone. Now, this takes place between the 16th and 17th century, and the well in question is located at Loch Oich. Now, as with all my videos, please realize I am saying everything incorrectly, and I know that. And if you know how to say it, please feel free to put that down in the description box. But other than that, please try to bear with me as I probably pronounce your regional locations incorrectly. Sorry. So, let's get on with it. Now, I thought this was pretty cool. I didn't know this, but there's a series of lochs that connect the Scottish East Coast with the Scottish West Coast. And the lochs that do this are Loch Dochfor, Loch Ness, Loch Oich, and Loch Lochy, and only about a third of this canal is actually man-made. So I thought that was pretty interesting too. Now, the principal players of this tale are the Macdonalds and the Keppochs, and they were arguing over a parcel of land before this event occurred. So what happened was on September 25th of 1663, Alexander the 13th, chief of the Keppoch family and powerful members of the Macdonalds, and his brother Randall were killed by their cousin at a brawl in the mansion of Inish. It might be Inch, I'm not sure. Just outside of the village of Roybridge. Now, the two Keppoch men had just returned from schooling in France, and so one theory was that the locals started making fun of their mannerisms and accents because they had probably spent most of their lives in France. Now, the other theory was that this was a setup to get rid of an unpopular clan chief. Now, the murderers in question were Alexander MacDonald and his 6 sons from Invenrgary near Roybridge. Now, this was kind of something that had happened, and nobody did anything about it for 2 years. A fellow by the name of Ian Loam, or Baldin, a kinsman of the victims, an important figure who had the title of Gaelic Poet Laureate of Scotland, took an interest. He was also known locally as the Keppoch Bard. Now, Baldin had run around appealing to several clan chiefs, but he couldn't find anyone that would assist him in his mission of vengeance. He approached Sir James at Invenrgary Castle on the Isle of Skye. He appealed to James by telling him, and I quote, "Abel is cold and his blood is crying in vain for vengeance. Cain is hot and red-handed, and hundreds are lukewarm as to the black goat's milk." And if you couldn't guess, the black goat is Satan, as always. So, as a religious man, this swayed Sir James, and Sir James applied to the Privy Council in Edinburgh and issued letters of fire and sword against the killers. And so then Baldin guided the group of men he was granted, 50 men, to where the Macdonalds were, and in Invenrgary, and they went in and butchered all of them, and in true Celtic fashion, decapitated all of them. So specifically the 7 men who had committed the crime earlier. Now, Baldin decided to take the heads to Lord Macdonald, not MacDonald, Macdonald, at Invenrgary Castle, but on the way he paused to wash the heads at Loch Oich, so that's how we get there. And the monument that you'll see is located at the side of A82 and was erected in 1812 by the chief of the clan Macdonald. Now, this tale was verified because they did an excavation on the mound on the lands of Invenrgary, and it revealed 7 headless corpses. So I thought this was pretty interesting. Scottish history that I've encountered is rife with tales like this. When I was at pipe school, I was told of the flaming revenge of Squinting Patrick. It's actually a pibroch that I don't know how to play, but was played for us. So a pibroch is the very, very, very traditional music of Scotland played on the bagpipes. And it's really kind of hard to describe, I guess. It's kind of like jazz in a way, because they build variation upon variation upon variation. So it's almost like a competitive music to see who could, play the most complicated variation. So I think it's pretty cool. I only know like one pibroch, because usually we learn light music because that's what most people want to listen to. A lot of people hate pibroch, so it's not something that we commonly necessarily know as bagpipers, but probably everybody knows some pibroch, and even some bagpipers hate it, but that's another video. The Flaming Revenge of Squinting Patrick. So, Donald, or aka Big Donald, the second piper of the McCrimmons, which is a huge piping family, had a brother with an eye defect or something that caused him to squint. So he was known as Squinting Patrick. Now, Patrick offended someone some way and was killed in the most cowardly manner. He was stabbed in the back. And so Big Donald went after vengeance, and this was a tale that was told to be, yeah, he basically went into their village their town. They burned all of their houses down. Women and children inside. It was pretty horrifying, but Big Donald wrote the music associated with the tale, so to speak. That Scottish history is full of stuff like this, but I thought it was interesting. At least the Well of the Seven Heads. Flaming Revenge of Squinting Patrick is, well, it has a funny name. It's not really funny. And with that, good night, America, wherever you are.